Good afternoon, everyone. The International Parking and Mobility Institute presents today's Learning Lab, Seamless Campus Mobility, Unifying Parking, Transit, and Wayfinding into One Smart Platform, presented by Vicinia. My name is Kenny, Senior Training and Certification Specialist here at IPMI, and I'll be your moderator for today's presentation. As a reminder, today's presentation is being recorded. We will make the recording available online and will post it to IPMI's YouTube channel within a few days. Before we start, I'd like to go over a few housekeeping rules for today. This Learning Lab will last 60 minutes with a Q&A session at the end. If you have questions for today's speaker, please feel free to queue up a question at any time by typing into the Q&A. To ask a question, click the Q&A icon in the Zoom menu. A window will open. Please type your question and hit enter. We will get to as many as time allows. It is now my pleasure to introduce our speaker, Dr. Farshad Lahouti, CEO, Vicinia IO. Dr. Farshad Lahouti is the founder and CEO of Vicinia IO, a leader in enterprise mobility management and digital twin solutions. With a PhD in electrical and computer engineering from the University of Waterloo, he has a rich background in data science, wireless communication, and navigation systems. At Vicinia, he focuses on developing cutting-edge AI-powered software and IoT technology for location-based services, significantly enhancing enterprise campus navigation and efficiency. And now I'm going to turn the audience over to presenter. Farshad, the audience is all yours.
Thank you, Kenny. Good morning if you're in the West Coast, and good afternoon if you're on the East. I know we have people from as far as Australia too. So greetings, everyone. Thank you, Kenny, for the nice introduction. I would like to thank first IPMI for bringing us together and building this great community. I was looking at the roster of participants from many universities, organizations, airports, transit agencies, cities, and as I said, in the US and abroad. Thank you, and for advocating the advancement of parking and mobility industry. Before I get to it, I would like to have a quick poll. And Kenny is kindly running the poll. If you could please answer the question that pops up on your screen.
That question for everybody is, what is the most common parking or transit challenge you see users struggle with on your campus?
Yeah, we'd like to know what you hear from your users on a daily basis, on visitors coming to your campus for many reasons. I know some of you have many thousands of visitors coming, and of course, the community coming to campus. Okay, let's look at some of the results. The question was, what's the most common parking or transit challenge you see users struggle with on your campus? So the first one is, where is the closest parking? That's 48%, even when it's right in front of them. The second one is 15%, blaming parking for being late, always. I think that would be my choice if I could vote. And then ignoring signage and asking for directions anyway. So, so very good, very good. So we are right on. We have some answers to these questions today. Just a quick intro to who we are. We specialize in digital twin technology and AI-powered space and mobility management. In particular, we serve enterprise campuses with campus navigation and accessibility solutions. Why it matters? It primarily, we help boost the operational efficiency for the transportation administration in enterprise campuses, and we aim doing that by enhancing your users' experiences, being visitors, students, riders, and so on. And once we do that, we hope that we can have positive influence into elevating sustainability initiatives, as we will see. Perhaps more importantly, answering this question of why it matters that what we do is from what we hear in many cases from university transportation executives, and I quote, is that we have wayfinding, we have maps, we have transit tools in place, but they all live in separate systems that don't communicate with each other. As a result, students rarely use any of them. Uh, it's not hard to see and it's maybe somewhat predictable, but if we have different applications for different modes of transportation, let's say for shuttle, we have one application, and then we have consumer grade products like Google Maps to do part of wayfinding. Then it comes to campus, and it's of course detailed regulations and business logic, and it fails. So uh, then this sporadic set of solutions don't come together nicely in a way that people can really adopt them. So they end up using uh, the questions that we had, inquiring other people maybe and their friends, and then or simply circle around the campus to find where to park if you're a one-time visitor. Let's see how we can address these solutions. These problems, a key component of our solution is a digital twin technology. So before I give you any demonstration or talk about solutions, I want to give it just a little background of what digital twin technology is and why it is instrumental in helping unify the end solution. So a digital twin technology, at least in our context, which is a space and mobility management, is a digital replica of a physical space. Okay, so I have a campus, a digital replica of a campus. I have parking facilities, I have buildings, and many spaces inside. So that would be a digital replica of a physical space. The key here in digital twin is a two-way communication between the physical and the digital twins. By two-way communication, I mean one way would be if you monitor your space. Okay, so that's meaning you have different sensors, you're monitoring the space. So that would be the digital system reading off the physical. But then it becomes two-way when you have control too, meaning you can on your desktop you can actuate different things, you can make things happen, and you can change the way people use your software solutions by a management dashboard. So that's when you can control things. But most importantly, what distinguishes a digital twin is if you can do scenario planning, meaning you can answer what ifs. Let's say you have many universities that we work with have many tens of parking facilities. And so the resource allocation problem is very significant where where visitors go, where staff go, where um, event participants go, and so on. So if I could simulate and answer the what if scenario, meaning what if I allocate this way, what's going to happen, what's the user experience, what is going to be the traffic around, and so that is where a digital twin technology comes in. So clearly it's an evolution beyond GIS. So many of you are familiar with geographic information systems. It's as the name suggests, it's a database of physical assets, essentially that you can create very many different reports and so on. But so the digital twin builds on top of that into a live interactive digital system. So there are a few components to this. If you're building a digital twin for mobility management, so there is obviously on the left we have digital maps and wayfinding for campus and indoors, and then on the right we have a space and mobility management. The tools that allows you to efficiently manage this operation. And then the two come together on different applications. That is, it can be a web application, it can be a mobile application, or it can be a kiosk that it's very popular on bigger campuses and buildings. So the two can obviously, if with the right and easy access, people can have access to these information, which promotes inclusivity and boosts their experience. And on the side of the management, it significantly improves operational efficiency. And we shall soon see examples of how that can work. Okay, so what's the agenda for today? After this short introduction, I'll show you examples of first some space management. These are some of them are active projects, and all of them are. And so we look at a corporate, a large corporate facility building, and with parking and multiple buildings and office spaces. So just as a glimpse of how space management can be managed, can operate in this set of solutions that Vicinia provides. So I show you some integrated digital mappings, how connected smart spaces work, and in relations to asset management. Spend a few minutes here, then I switch to mobility management. We use several university campuses for the demonstration. I show you seamless indoor-outdoor wayfinding, parking guidance, ADA compliant wayfinding, and transit management. And then we conclude with some rollout strategies. And my colleague Ali has a special offer for the participants of this learning lab that I'll present at the end. And of course, I make sure we leave ample opportunity for questions and answers. Please do type in your questions anytime, and we'll pause and answer them as we go. Okay, Kenny, we can run our second poll. This one has two questions. Before I jump into the demonstration, I would like to have a sense of the interest of our audience, so I know where to focus. The first question is, which of the following areas are you looking to improve or upgrade in the next 12 to 18 months? You can click all that apply, if whether it's parking, if it's shuttle and transit, if it's maps and navigation. If you have an interest in accessibility, being language or ADA, and if you're running sustainability initiatives like EV or reducing single occupancy trips and so forth. If you can answer this question, then we will also have a second question, which is about platform, meaning the delivery of the solution. If where your interest lies about this, is it a mobile application? Is it a web platform? Do you care for on-site kiosks or signage or QR code scanning for localization or assets? and or do you have integration considerations with your existing apps? So I'll give you um, a short moment. I think Kenny will help us with the results once they're in.
Just giving it about 10 more seconds. All right, sharing the results now.
Wonderful. Okay. So 73% of our participants care about parking. Some 40% care about shuttle and transit, and also maps and navigation. And data is important to half of our participants, and analytics capabilities. Okay, wonderful. And exciting results on the platform delivery. People are all on mobile pretty much, and integration appears to be on your minds. Okay, I'll make sure to address those as we go forward. Feel free to ask any questions you may have. Very good. Okay, Kenny, is there a burning question there I can answer before I jump into the demonstration?
No questions so far, but please feel free, audience, to use the Q&A tab to ask your questions at any time. We will get to as many as time allows after the presentation.
Okay, very good. Let me switch my screen. Okay, the first scenario that we will be looking at is a corporate facility. It's a complex set of buildings in with office spaces and parking. The focus of the first example is on space management. And I picked this one because it's a relatively complex building. We start with this, and this is a project that we are currently working on, and it's a good example of for you to see how it develops. It's not a finished solution; it's a work in progress, and it gives you a view of how things work. This is, for example, an office building with 9 floors. It's being mapped as we speak. It's a number of them of the floors have been mapped. I'll pick one of the nicer ones for you. This is the 7th floor, and this is an example of an example of a Vicinia indoor map. As you can see in this example, we have all offices indexed. So the map that you see is a digital replica of the space. It's not an image, meaning I can interact with it. If I click on it, this is like Office 751. And I can also, as I will show you, search for different facilities. So it's completely digitized and indexed. Even the furniture here that I can have here is all assets that are indexed and identified in the system, meaning this is on a management dashboard, you can track them and you can search for them. In a typical building, of course, you care about room numbers, you care about the elevators and accessibility, and I show you how this comes together in navigation examples: the restrooms, stairs, fire routes, emergency exits, and so forth. If I you can once you have this, you can literally search for any place you like. For example, I searched for a particular office, and so I can say find my way to it. Then you have meeting rooms. This comes handy in like booking applications when you want to book a meeting room and so forth. So that's an example of an indoor map. I want to quickly switch to a parking. I know that's where the interest of our audience lies. So it's a six-story, over the six floors over the ground, four under the ground. It's a 10-story parking facility. As I said, this is a work in progress. This is only the first floor that we have recently mapped. So all the parking spots are again indexed with different categories. The reason I brought this up, it's a pretty complicated scenario of, you have EV spots, you have uh, timed spots here, you have uh, I think this one here, or maybe not. You have this one. You have reserved spots here. So you have all sorts of parking spots that you can imagine, and they are all properly digitized. Let me show you this one. This is a reserved spot, for example. And we are right now in the process of installing spot occupancy sensors for them. So this is an example of how different. I think they also have. Uh, Let me see. Yes, they have like parking for bikes, cages for bicycles, and so forth. So it's a anything you can imagine here. And then when I switch to the wayfinding mode, that you see that these will come very handy. So let me switch to the second case, and I'll take you to a university campus, and not far away from us. That's where I come from. It's the Caltech campus, and make sure I am sharing the right thing with you. If you do see, sure, just in case I do it again. Okay, if there is any problem, please. Okay, now this looks good. So this is an example of a university campus with some 100 or more building. In this scenario, these are the overlay map shows the map of the campus. Here you have different buildings. You have access to their information. You have some of the buildings. We have mapped the indoor map. This is the infamous Moore Laboratory, which is named after Gordon Moore, founder of Intel. But point being, if you look at this, then you have have the information on resources and amenities. This is not a manual entry. The system has automatically computed all the resources here, and it's only showing what is useful for the public. As an administrator, I have a lot more granularity into the data that it shows. Similarly, this is a parking facility. This is an example of a parking lot. And again, all the parking spots are identified and marked. Here we have like 88 spots and all properly indexed. This allows me to search for many things, and I want to show you the powerful search functionality. For example, I could search for food if I care. I use this opportunity, and then I search for, let's say, parking facilities. I can click on this button. I can see what parking facilities are available. I pick one, the Holliston parking structure here, and I can see more details about it. I can also, mm, or any other parking facility. The what else? In this example, it's integrated because I noticed some of the people are integrated in event parking. This is an example of a full integration. What that means, it means that the event server is connected to the system. I don't know. Let me pick the topic that I can imagine there are events around. Okay, let's say a seminar. So I searched here for the word seminar, and I have all the events right in front of me. And in this case, the system also, if I click on this event, I can navigate to it as I will show you now. So this is the first example of a navigation. Let's say if I come from downtown Pasadena, where we are, and it knows where the event is happening. It routes me to the destination. You have seen navigation outside the campuses. The fun begins when the person reaches the campus, and that's where Vicinia Solutions kicks in. So it knows where I can park as someone who is attending this event, and it picks the one that makes sense based on where I come from and based on where my destination is. So that's an example of an integrated wayfinding with parking guidance. And as I said, the events are readily integrated with the event management system of the organization. Let me show you a couple other examples of wayfinding. In this particular case, I'll pick a place inside a building for you to see an example of indoor wayfinding. Yeah. So it's an auditorium. Imagine I would like to navigate there, and I pick the same origin. It can be anywhere. I can click on the map, pick anywhere. So in this case, I get guidance through a parking facility, and then I'm given directions. So my direction is I got guided where to park. I got guided how to get indoors, which door to use. And then I go through the stairs and then all the way to my destination. But let's say I have some ADA requirements so that I wish to avoid stairs, for example, or let me pick this one, a wheelchair accessible route. And now, okay, the parking remained the same. It knows that it has ADA availability. It picks a door that is automatic, but this time it's routing me to use an elevator instead of the stairs, of course, and then all the way as you expect to the destination. We have turn by turn navigation here all the way indoors. So take the instructions on how you find your way indoors as well. In general, as you may now have this question in your mind, you don't need to map all the indoor facilities as we haven't here either. So only the ones that you may feel is needed. For example, this one is a dining hall that everybody uses and people meet here and gather. So it makes a lot of sense doing that. This is also integrated with Pasadena Transit in the sense that you can see the relevant routes right here. If the system supports GTFS standard and GTFS RT as well, real time. So if it's the real time data is available, and then we can see. I'll show you in another example. We can see where the bus is right now. Caltech doesn't have a shuttle, so I don't have it here. But in cases where you do, you can see shuttle as well, and I show you an example soon. Sports is a big thing in many colleges and universities. Of course, navigation during events and navigation to sports centers matter. And so if I were to go to Brown Athletic Center, and if I want to find my way, pick a different starting point here, and then again, similar experience, this time to a designated parking underground that is relevant to this sports facility. With that being said, I want to show you something exciting on the side of management. You saw that we find our way to this parking facility a few times. Let's imagine something has happened and we want to close this parking facility, and so that people get guided to other ones. So I want to show you our management dashboard. So again, this is the management dashboard. As you can imagine, as you can see, that you have access to all the events directly here, and also the news is also integrated, as this is a fully integrated scenario. This is my management dashboard. I have many functionalities here. In particular, I can see analytics. For example, if I take one of the buildings here, the one that we were working with, the Moore Laboratory, I can see all the resources that is available here, and the area and everything. If I pick a parking facility, pick one parking, let's say parking lot 11, the one that we were working on. So, and then you can see the number of spots, the area that it takes, number of ADA, and so forth. If we had parking spot sensors there, you could see availability as well. With that being said, I want to show you a good example of how control and management comes into play. If I go to management of, let's say the closure scenario, that we want to close this parking facility, and then with a few clicks, I'll show you how that works. So this was the parking facility that we just saw. This is the management view. So you can close off any of the gates that you like. You can close off the building itself. So you can, mm, and then automatically the navigation behavior of the system changes. So I take, in this particular case, the case that I want to close off all the gates. Something has happened here, and I pick a start date just for the sake of example, something that I pick something here, and I close this off. I can set exceptions, meaning that I may want my repairs person to still get guided. I can do that. I can define closures. I can notify people if I want right from here. So, and without moving from my chair, I can close off all the gates. You can call it a test, uh, IPMI, and then reason can be maintenance. And when I save, okay, I can publish it now. And if I save, then this is added. It's processing the whole navigation system. It's being adjusted to support disclosure, meaning that it now will guide people through different routes when the activation is completed. So we come back to this example. I want to use our time by switching to UCLA. I noticed we had a few people from UCLA today, and want to thank the UCLA team for the great collaboration we have had over the past year or so. This is the UCLA campus, and of course, many exciting things happen here. Uh, I want to show you an example of one of a pretty big parking facility. This is an example. You can readily compare it with the football field size. And again, similar experience. All the parking spots are indexed. You can navigate yourself, as you can see, indoors to a parking spot. Similar to what I showed you here, the case of a trend that it's an interesting case, the way the system is somehow integrated with the big blue bus transit system of Santa Monica. The relevant routes are again available here. I want to show you a little bit of a detail. So it's all the stop sequences are accessible. You click on any of the stop sequences. You can see the plans, the schedules. You can see where you arrive when. So it's very nicely laid out, and people can use this. And in the interest of time, and I also want to show you the Bruin bus example. This is the campus shuttle system, and different routes that they have there. You can have integrated shuttle wayfinding in the sense that, let's say, the scenario that you drive to a parking and then take a shuttle to an event, so you don't switch. Everything happens here in an integrated fashion. And what else? So that's an example of both shuttle and transit. UCLA is on a steep hill, and so during a commencement event, a challenge brought to us was the wayfinding from Bruin Plaza here. This is to one of the going through this hill and arriving at the Royce Hall, which is up the hill. Uh, okay, here we go. Sorry, Wilson Plaza to Royce Hall. And this is like 100 stairs here. And when we attended the event, it happens to be a construction here as well. So you can imagine in a crowded event like commencement, getting guidance to where you want to go can be pretty tricky, especially if you're in a wheelchair. So the solution is nice. So you can let's say from Wilson to Royce Hall, so you can get guided. If you're good to go up 100 stairs, you can. And if you want to go, avoid stairs, then you have to go through a pretty complicated route. But its system knows all the little stairs or many stairs in here, and even the slope is considered for proper ADA compliant wayfinding. Okay, with that being said, let me go back to the Caltech example. I trust you have, when I change my tabs, you see properly. If not, please let me know. Let me show, yes, it's working fine. So yeah, I can see that. So it's now active, and I want to go back to our, where did it go? I'll take another, and then I'll stop. Okay. Okay. So we want to repeat this example one more time, just to show you how a temporary closure works. So this is the same example. We want to run it again. And then we started from downtown Pasadena. We do it again. So if you remember, the first time I got guided to this parking facility, then we closed it up. And I got automatically guided to a different visitor parking facility that was still pretty reasonable. And it knows I can park there as a visitor, and I properly get guided. So that's an example of the operational efficiency we're talking. I did not update my maps, meaning the system did. I clicked a few buttons, and I didn't have to put any signs. The notifications went on automatically, and so obviously a very good speed up in my operations. And I want to show you, obviously this was a test and I don't want it to remain in the system. If I delete it and the system goes back, again, reprocesses the maps automatically and goes back to the original scenario. With that, let me just go back to let me go back to the slides one more time and then say a few words, and then we go to question and answer. Okay, so our unified platform in action has been used for different applications. We have mapped some 180 million square feet of indoor maps. We have mapped some 5,000 acres of enterprise campuses with ADA wayfinding and navigation, of course, with supports for event and parking management and transit. systems. The system is designed in a modular fashion. I'll quickly say this, but we can talk about it in Q&A. In a sense that, like pieces of puzzle, you can only take the things you want because it built on the digital twin platform. We can integrate with many of your existing solutions as long as they speak some form of standard communication protocol. And we have done that many times with your parking equipment, with your license plate reader, and with your, if you have sensors, we can integrate with those, or you can use ours. So you can put it together to arrive at a unified solution, and you can do it on your own pace. Meaning, if you have different priorities, we typically draw a user journey, an adoption plan, so that gradually we can build towards a unified system. As I said, the deliverability, the delivery platform is agnostic. We have mobile apps, kiosk solutions, and web applications that people can access the same information. Meaning you do maps once, and then it's all seamlessly propagated to all the apps. There are many interactions and partner associations that we have. Recently had a T-Mobile integration as well. I know it's pretty popular in universities and with others as well. With that being said, I will like to also open up the Q&A with the help of Kenny. And I also have what Ali, the special offer that Ali has brought you here. We have a exclusive IPMI Learning Lab offer. You can get free access to Vicinia Desk, and we do a free mapping for a portion of your campus, so you can play with it and see how it works with you, with your own campus, and then experience it. I'll stop and I give the floor to Kenny for Q&As. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that presentation, Farshad. All right, let's get to some Q&A. We have a question here from, I just need to find it, sorry. Patrick Brook asks, who provides the space occupancy sensors, or who can be integrated?
Okay. There's two ways. There are companies that we work with that we integrate with parking occupancy sensors. We also have our own parking occupancy sensors. We both do parking spot monitoring and flow monitoring. So depending on the situation. And our system is designed to be pretty flexible. So in this particular example that I showed, the integration with third party took us from start to finish a week, and it was a company that we worked with. So depending on the case, we can support both.
Thank you. Patrick Brook also asks, does the event define what structures / garages they are allowed to park in?
The question was about events, Kenny, right?
Yeah, does the event define what structures?
Okay, very good. Yes, but there's a lot of flexibility in that. Let me tell you how. We have a resource allocation solution, meaning that you have, let's say, 50, 100 parking facilities or any number. You can first set a policy, meaning that, okay, I don't want visitors to go to this at all, to this parking facility. This is for staff. Things like that. And then for roles, because the navigation is role sensitive, so it can say, okay, event participants in general can go to these facilities. Okay, so when you set an event, if you don't say where you want people to be guided, it acts based on your policy. It finds the suitable parking facility for them without you even saying, because you once set the policy. We also integrate with, license plate reader providers that give you parking facility occupancy availability. I have examples, but not the time to show. If you're interested, we can set a time afterwards. But so this dynamic system is pretty powerful in the sense that it automatically guides people to what's available based on your policy. Having said that, if you care to be specific, meaning that this event is important to me, is for donors, and I don't want them to go park on the other side of the campus, then you can be specific. You can say, I want this event to people to park here. And then the resource allocation engine reserves that many spot that you want, and it takes the inventory into account. So the full cycle that you can imagine is supported.
Right. Thank you. Lauren Thompson asks, if the gate access is cut off, are people redirected if they pull up to that gate? Or does that gate not show up as available parking?
Okay. Very, very fine question. If I close off a parking facility or even one gate, there are two scenarios. If it happens before somebody is doing wayfinding, obviously when they get routed the way I showed you, it automatically disregards that parking facility or gate and provides the next best option. But if we support live navigation, so you get Google-like experience on campus, live guidance. And then if you close off, let's say to an accident, which indeed happened, like a U-Haul truck got stuck in a parking facility in the middle of a commencement event. So and people are already coming. So if you're in live navigation mode, it also redirects you to the next available option. So you don't lose sleep over this. So it dynamically adjusts and reroutes people with your notification, meaning with explaining why. I think you saw on the management dashboard where I could enter a message explaining the reason.
Thank you, Farshad. We do have time for one more or two more questions. Get them in now. Or the end of the hour. Have a question here. Can you integrate with tools we already use, like parking management software or campus event calendar?
We do. The case of Caltech that I showed you, it's their event management software. So it's not ours. So it's we have our own event management software as well. If you care to use ours, you can. If not, we integrate with them. That was a prime example. So it's integrated with both event and news servers. And so they use the same process that they already do on a daily basis. So it doesn't change their process. So that was part of the question was event management. I think there was another piece to it, Kenny.
Like parking or campus event calendar or parking management software.
Parking management, yes, indeed. If you have we integrate with T2, for example, or other providers that you may have for parking management, and let's say for your LPR cameras, for your enforcement and parking management billing software, if you have. Again, we have our own, let's say, billing platform that you can use for payments in the app, or else if you use a common based, we can integrate with that.
Thank you so much. And we are just about out of time. We have time for either one more question or there is no more questions. I'll give the time to Farshad for any last words for our audience here.
I just wanted to thank everyone for spending this hour with us. I hope it was beneficial, and we hope to hear back from you. Please do reach to me, to Ali, whose contact is here, if you're interested in the offer, or if not, you want to chat. We're here to continue the conversation. Thank you, Kenny, for
Thank you. Thank you so much. Don Barrett says, thank you for the informative session. All right. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us today. I want to thank Farshad for hosting today's Learning Lab, and you can reach out to them if you have any more questions. And we thank you for joining us today. Goodbye, everybody. Have a great week.
Thank you. Bye-bye.